The Philippines, 17 regions and 81 provinces, spread across 7,641 islands, each one a home to people, places, and potential.
The Philippines, a member of ASEAN, the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, and BIMPIAGA, the Brunei Darussalam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, East ASEAN Growth Area.
There's definitely more to the Philippines than just the National Capital Region.
Find out more about what the rest of the regions that comprise our archipelago and the regional groupings that our country is part of have to offer to us and to the world on Regional Roundup.
Regional Roundup with Bing Kimpo. A closer look at the regions in and around us.
A wider perspective of our islands and our part of the world. Welcome back to Regional Roundup. This is our very first episode recorded on the road, and I am truly happy to have done this in Bohol. What we'll be talking about in our next two episodes is tourism in the municipality of Jagna in the province of Bohol. In this episode, we'll feature the move of Jagna to position itself as a faith tourism destination in the island province. Now, this is a rather tall order given that Bohol is dotted all over with a multitude of breathtaking churches dating back centuries past, some of which will be featuring separately soon on our other podcast, Undercovered. Now, the plan of Jagna is arguably audacious, but definitely doable. Very soon, the serene skyline of this port town of about 40,000 will be dominated by three separately located 100-foot statues of the Birhen ng Barangay, of San Pedro Calungsod, and of St. Michael the Archangel. Shrines to the Birhen ng Barangay and San Pedro Calungsod are already existing, though the images that are present there at this point are not even life-sized. The plan is to install super-sized statues on these shrines. A location for that of St. Michael the Archangel, who is the patron saint of Jagna, has already been identified. These planned icons will soon stand as visible beacons, calling on the faithful to come to Jagna for pilgrimage and prayer. On Regional Roundup this episode and next, we're speaking with Jagna Mayor Joseph Rañola to talk about the plans for tourism in his municipality. My name is Bing Kimpo, and this is your Regional Roundup. What's the big idea behind positioning Jagna as a religious capital, faith or pilgrimage tourism capital for Bohol?
We are very lucky in Jagna that we have this, first of all, already organized, established two shrines. The shrines of Birhen sa Barangay and the shrine of San Pedro Calungsod. And luckily also our St. Michael Parish Church has been designated also as a pilgrim area. So having the three saints that we have in the town, di po pwedeng hindi maisip na magiging religious or magiging yung aming pagka-religiosity, no, na ibalik namin. Now, as I understand, nagkaroon na rin ng mga programa ang national government. So sabi ko, isabay na rin. On a local scene, especially the Boholanos, popular na itong aming sites. Meron na mga regular visitors. But you see, siyempre sa isang bayan o Jagna, thriving, na gusto naming tataas naman ang antas ng kanyang classification because we are the third class, no? And we are aware na siyempre tourism will really help boost the economy and will also help us with our aspiration to become a better and a progressive municipality.
You want to essentially establish what will be three icons.
Yes.
Na talagang maaalala natin.
Yes.
Napuntahan ko yung dalawang sites doon, kung saan ang birhen ng barangay, pati yung San Pedro Calungsod. Sabi nyo, yun, maliliit lang yun. Magaganda na as they are.
Yes.
Pero may gagawin kayong bago. Siguro pakikwento sa amin kung ano yung master plan ninyo dyan.
Yun yung from the simple present condition or situation that we have, that you have also seen, dito na lumabas yung dream. Siguro itong mga lugar na to, kapag nalagyan natin ng maganda, mataas, at talagang malayo pala nakikita mo itong mga statue na to, di ba? Makakabigay ng more ng drama and probably more interest and probably more experience, di ba? So just like Rio de Janeiro or the popular statues that we have in the Philippines na malalaki talaga, it adds more message. To me, it's like a magic that will become a reality, di ba? And trying to make us again to be aware na wow, meron pala pag-asa Hagna, di ba? Wow, pwede palang babalik tayo being religious. I think that's the most important, no? Nowadays, with so many things going around, so many modernization happening, di ba? One has to go back also to the basic, which is being religious in life.
Ano naman po ang papel ng simbahan dito, Mayor?
Ito ay proyekto ng Catholic, aming diocese, ang aming parish. Ang LGU is just part of it, no? Nung nag-umpisa sila, wala silang roads. We came in with concreting of roads, no? Wala masyadong cleanliness. So we came in also with the warm bodies that we have sa aming municipality. Tinulungan namin lahat. It is about involvement. This is about faith, di ba? Because we believe, ako personally, I believe, no? We can only set the direction, but it has to be the people who has to make it happen. Mas maganda kung na-embrace ng lahat ng mga Hagnaanos yan. Wherever we are, we can always promote and we can always say, as Hagnaanos, we will able to make it.
You're doing things a bit differently dahil most people will say for something as ambitious as this, ang automatic siguro magandang puntahan will be national government or some large institutions. Instead, you've decided to go to Hagdaanons who have gone elsewhere. Why are you targeting Hagdaanons to support and help fund initially, I suppose, itong project na to?
I am in a situation wherein I realize that politics is divisive. And I'm very sad about this. And I saw this beautiful thing happening, making me realize what we have in Hagna, that 2 shrines and 1 pilgrim site, di ba? And somehow, you also realize na there are goodness to each and every man's heart, no? Woman's heart. And I'd like to start there. Even my wife, I was very surprised. In all of my activities, ayaw niya makialam. Pero nung nalaman niya about this, sabi niya, I want to be a part of this. To my friends, to my co-employees, to the people who have, we come from different political parties, no? But once we sat down, we forget about politics. We simply focus on what we would like to happen and be closer to God.
What's the roadmap? What's next?
Well, with this awareness, no, there is also a pledging kahit sa aming munisipyo, no, among the officials. It was so fast. We were able to generate pledge beyond my imagination. So once na tap na namin itong mga resources nito, and by the way, the LGU will not hold or keep a centavo. This will be given directly to the diocese where we belong. So it will be this will be under the safekeeping of the church leaders. The preparations are already intact. We have surveyed the area, pati ang structural consideration amin na rin, plus the design, no, the design and how we should develop the area. So kompleto na kami yan, Bing, and this is really a matter now of tapping the amount of funds that we need to construct, and we are just there to support them as long as nandoon na. Once kompleto na rin yan, Bing, we have also organized all the organizations, no? Meron tayong Paris Organization, Paris Council, meron tayong San Miguel Council, meron din tayong San Kalungsod Group and Restoration Group, no? These are all existing organization in Jagna. Mm-hmm. And right now, ang ginawa natin talagang to focus on this, meron din silang ginawa at inorganize ngayon ng Jagna Tourism Council, Jagna Faith Tourism Council, who will now manage everything. So eventually, pag natapos yan, even the operation, we will have to teach them, we will have to support them that they can manage this and maintain and hopefully go beyond the means, di ba? Na makita natin na mag-succeed sila at magiging prosperous sila. Therefore, ang role ng LGU is to ensure na mayroon sila starting point at alalayan namin sila pag-organize hanggang mabuo nila itong ating dream, and then make them also very responsible, and they have to manage it among themselves also, so that after all, ang makikita natin pag nag-progress yan, mas dumadami ang mga visitors through faith tourism, more business will thrive, no? Yung mga aming sigurong restaurants, hotels, ang aming mga tawag nito mga souvenir items and so forth, no? Marami nang maglalabasan na more employment, di ba? So in other words, it will help the community talagang progress, not only economically, but I think mas gusto ko makita na babalik ang Jagna, progress niya with his talagang pureness, going back to where we should be, being religious.
In terms of timeline, when can people expect these iconic statues up?
Could be 365 days.
1 year timeline natin.
Yes.
Wow.
Meron ka na makikita.
This entire stretch of seaside, of coast na Bohol, on your heading to your part, heading to Jagna, it seems to be dotted with all of these mga old churches. Mm-hmm. You're trying to position Jagna as a religious capital, as a pilgrimage capital. Tell us a bit about what's to offer for a person who is interested in that. Ano pang pwede nila puntahan bukod sa Jagna? Yung malapit lang.
If you're in a big city, Holy Week, right? Mm-hmm. Naghahanap ka ng 14 churches para sa 14 station of the cross mo. from Tagbilaran, going to my town and others, we have 47 municipalities, remember. So it will not be so difficult to find good churches along the way. 14 towns, you have your talagang iglesia, bisita na talagang fulfilling at siguradong mas exciting, no? At saka talagang nakakapagbigay sa atin, again, ng kind of faith na kailangan nating nafe-feel from time to time para hindi tayo nawawala kung ano mang meron tayo sa mundo na hindi tama.
And that was our first of 2 episodes on tourism in Jagna, Bohol, here on Regional Roundup. As I said at the beginning, it's a rather tall order for Jagna to position itself as a faith tourism destination when the entire Bohol is bathed in the beauty of its centuries-old churches and cathedrals. And precisely perhaps because it is a tall order, one way to literally stand out is to install tall statues as well, 100-foot ones we are told. And as a port town that welcomes and sends off travelers bound for and coming from Mindanao, including the island of Camiguin, Jagna does have a bit of an advantage. With the installation of the iconic statues of the Birhen ng Barangay, of San Pedro Calungsod, and of Saint Michael the Archangel, Jagna could just be that visible beacon calling on the faithful to pilgrimage and prayer. This has been Bing Kimpo. Join us again on Regional Roundup next episode as we continue our conversation with Jagna Mayor Joseph Rañola. We'll be talking about adventure tourism in Jagna in that episode. Catch you again on Regional Roundup, available on Facebook and on YouTube, and on Spotify, Apple, Google, Substack, and wherever else you get your podcasts.